Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this tutorial was actually requested, which I love because it lets me know that you truly enjoy what I do. And if you would like to request a tutorial for anything specific to your needs, just let me know in the comments down below and I really don't mind. So in today's video, I'm going to be making these magnetic backings. These are so fun to make and very easy to make. So without further ado, let's hop into today's video. Before I hop into desktop mode to show you guys how I created these magnetic bookmark backings, these are how my magnetic bookmark backings used to look, and this is definitely an upgrade from this. These are very plain. I was still kind of playing around with what I wanted as far as the color aspect of everything. So these these are just like in my archive right now. I don't use these when I sew my magnetic bookmarks. But I do use this. You're going to need one of these. Now you can find these at Michael's, Joann's. I bought mine on Amazon. I will have that linked in the description box below. It does have three cut settings on there. So I'll go over which one I use and later on in the video. Now you can choose between using cardstock or photo paper. Now with these, I use photo paper. Now with my experience, I feel like photo paper just give off a better quality than cardstock. Cardstock is more like a matte look to it, which is like this is cardstock. And you can tell the difference between the colors. I wish I had one printed on photo paper, but of course the glossiness in this one is matte. The colors is a little bit more vibrant in person. I know it probably doesn't seem that way on camera, but the colors are much vibrant on these than on cardstock. But go with your budget. I started off with cardstock because it was cheaper, but you know, cheap is not always best. I always like to go with quality because you are selling these things and these are going out to people who do purchase from you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into desktop mode. So just a little disclaimer before we get started, my mic was actually acting up while I was recording the video, but I did not realize it until I was finished. So if you hear like a little distortion, I really apologize. So I'm going to try my best to kind of play around with the volume a little bit so that I don't have to redo this video. All right, so we are in Canva and I already have 21 of these magnetic bookmark backings already created, but I'm going to be making a few with you from scratch right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new little slide here. And my backings are 3x3s because my magnetic bookmarks, once folded, is between 2 and 2.5 inches. And when it folds over perfectly. And I don't want it to cover my logos or anything. So as long as it stay within this space, you're in the clear. But it just depends on, it's going to vary, depend on how big you want your bookmark. If you want a bigger bookmark to where it's like between 3 and 3.5 inches, that means you need to be making a backing between like 4x4 or a 5x5. So it's going to be based off of that as well. So what I like to do is like how I find my like backgrounds and stuff like that. I just type in whatever theme I'm like in the mood for, to be honest, or whatever bookmark that I'm creating. I try to stay within that theme as well. So when it comes to my color theme, I'm more of like a pastel type of, and then colors, and then like hot pinks and hot blues and stuff like that. I'm more like bright when it comes to my website. So I kind of like to stay within that category. So what I like to search for is like watercolor backgrounds. And if I sound congested, I'm still getting over a cold, so I apologize. And I go into graphics here and I kind of search through what I would like. Like for this one, I really love that gold lining in this one. So that one's pretty. I'm going to keep that. And just a tip, if you do like one of the pictures you do choose, I will go ahead and click on magic recommendations because it's going to stay within the same category from the last picture that you chose. So I'm going to add another slide. And let me see this one. Oh, that's pretty. I like that one. Let's click another. It's so easy to make these magnetic bookmark backings. Like by the end of this video, you're going to be making like a lot of them just because they're just so easy to make and they're fun to make. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh, purple butterflies. You know, butterflies is my logo, but this one's real pretty. It's a little busy, so I may use a transparent feature to kind of bring it down a little bit so it's not too like in your face. Um, Let me see. I don't like the sunflower. I'm gonna take the sunflower back and let's bring it down a little bit. I like that because, you know, like I said, things that are like too busy, you don't want it to be like bam, like take away from the bookmark itself. I love the watermelons. That'll be cute for some like fruit bookmarks or something. I don't know. Oh, that one's pretty too with some flowers. This is a little busy too, so I'm probably going to bring that down with the transparent feature as well. Okay, so I have 4 created. This will be the 5th slide. So after this, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next step, which is adding my fonts and my logos. As you can tell from the ones that I previously created, all of them are completely different. None of them are one and the same. And I like it that way because all of my bookmarks are different. So what we're going to do is we're going to play around with a lot of colors and kind of get everything aesthetically matching to the background. So you're going to grab that square, and the measurements for my square is 3 by 0.8. And you're going to drag that from side to side from the bottom of your backing. So the font I've been using for Smith's signature print is called Honeymoon, and that should just be a part of Canva itself. It's already like pre-installed. A neat little trick, and I'm going to zoom just a little bit for you, but a neat little trick is to get the border around Smith's signature print. So you're going to go up to Effects, and it is the outline feature. Now you can play around with this. You can make it really thick or really thin. You can also play around with the colors. It's up to your discretion. This is your magnetic bookmark, so make it your own. Now for the magnetic bookmark font, I did get it off of Creative Fabrica and it's called Barbie Kawaii. I will have the link in the description box below if you're interested in signing up with Creative Fabrica. I highly recommend it. Even if you're just using it like on a day-to-day basis, there's a lot of good things on Creative Fabrica, to be honest. Now for this part, let your creativity take hold. So you're just going to go around and play with the color palettes and kind of figure out what matches your background. For example, I just changed it from like that hot pink to purple to kind of bring out the purple in the back. Whatever aesthetically is pleasing to you, go for it. You know, this is like, again, this is your bookmark or your magnetic bookmark backing, so just make it your own. And I always keep the Smith signature print at the bottom a solid font so that the customer kind of can, you know, it's legible so they can kind of read it. I don't want it to be too busy. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up this next process. I'm just going to pretty much do the same thing I just did with you guys with this one, but it's going to be completely different as far as the color goes because I need to match the background of each magnetic bookmark. All right, so now that I have all of them created, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to download them as a PNG. So you're going to click on share at the top right, click on download, and just download the ones we just created, which is the last 5 slides. Next, you're going to open up a new design and you're going to customize the size by a 8.5 by 11. I already have one created specifically for my backing, so I'm just going to open up that file here. Then you're going to upload your images back into Canva or drag and drop them, and just make sure you resize them back to a 3x3. Do not forget that part because they're going to print out extra big if you do not resize them. Then I'm going to duplicate them. I can only fit 6 on a page, so I just stick with 6, and then I'm going to do this for the rest of the bookmarks as well. Once you aligned all of the pages, you're going to go ahead and click on download. Make sure you click PDF print and then click on download. Since I am on a Mac, I do like to change the print settings since I am using photo paper to photo glossy, and then it's going to automatically change the quality to best. This is very important because you want the vibrancy of the colors. So make sure you always change that feature or check the feature before you hit print. All right, so they all printed out and they're very vibrant, very pretty. Even though I use like the transparent for this, it's still I kind of like it. I think I'm gonna just leave it like this. It came out a little darker than I expected, but they all came out very pretty. So as far as the paper trimmer, I like to use one of these because when you use the other paper trimmer like this, if the blade isn't sharp enough, it will not cut a sharp edge. So with these, I like to kind of stick with vinyl when I trim with this. So now this, I know some people like, oh, I can never get this aligned straight. It actually comes with practice. To be honest, there's been times where I have messed this part up as well, but I like to cut off a good portion of the edge first. Find that centerpiece. Even right here, there's a little bit of white there, so I'll probably go back and trim that part off. But you know, like with everything, practice makes perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest. Like I said, sometimes you get a little bit of white, so I may like touch it up a little bit, but I'm gonna be taking off the edges with this, so it may not matter. But again, I do see a little white on this one. I definitely want to take that off. Yeah. I'm going to finish cutting the rest, and I'm going to speed up the process for you guys. So everything's been cut out. Everything looks great. So now what we're going to do is cut the corners. I'm going to be using 7mm for the side of the logo, and then 10mm for the other corners. So I'm going to do 10 over here. And then a 7 over here. So it cuts out a little bit of my logo, but you know, that's fine. Okay, so I trimmed off 5 of them and they came out really pretty, very vibrant. All right, so that pretty much concludes this tutorial. And again, if there's a tutorial or anything you would like me to actually make or create a video in depth for you guys, just leave a comment down below. And I don't mind making these videos for you guys because, you know, it's fun and it's a learning curve for me as well. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below if necessary. And I will see you guys on my next tutorial.